want you guys to just look at this lens for a second. It's not the lens cap, but it's the actual lens. So this thing happens to be the Viltrox 28mm f4.5. So Viltrox sent me one of these to take out on my photo walks, and I decided to take it with me here today in Laguna Beach. It's about 4 p.m. on a Friday afternoon. Gonna take some photos with this thing, see what it's like to use in the streets. Kind of just not really looking for anything in particular, but I haven't been to Laguna Beach for many months. It's the first time in a while, so I'm hoping that I can, you know, see the city in sort of a different eye. As always, when they send me these things, you know, that's never paid, so every thought is my own. There's no influence on these videos from the company itself, so I'm just giving you guys my sort of real life experience with this lens. You know, it's pretty crazy because this thing is less than $100. It's really cheap. I mean, you don't get anything. It's very bare bones. So you have no focus ring, no aperture ring, nothing. You don't even get a lens cap. The lens cap is sort of built in. I'll show you guys that here. So this is your lens cap right here, this switch. So that's pretty sweet. I mean, it just makes everything super simple. So you're getting a nice focal length, which is 28, perfect for travel, perfect for street, perfect for anything tight, maybe some landscape. And everything's just there. You know, you got your lens hood. There's nothing you have to really worry about. You just set it to aperture priority, let the shutter do its thing if you want. Set your ISO. I have mine set from 100 to 3200, and it's very easy to use. Like, you don't have to think very much about your settings, which is nice. You know, it's not metal construction. It's basically as cheap as you can get it to be, you know, somewhat compact Pancake lens. So lately I've been shooting a lot of 28, so it's kind of my favorite focal length. And in my last video I kind of mentioned like 3 things that really help you out when you're shooting 28, and that's filling the frame, number 1. Number 2, sort of changing the angle at which you're shooting something at. You know, instead of just shooting it straight on, you can sort of shoot it at a different, you know, lower angle, or, you know, looking for angles at which people wouldn't shoot that subject at. And then number 3 would be creating layers. So like, you know, here for example, you know, we could add sort of this bar in the layer. You have this house, you know, this structure here, and then your third layer would be, you know, the horizon. So just to give you an idea, I mean, still we're a little, in my opinion, a little too far away, but just to give you an idea of that, just find other interesting things in the scene like that. So let's see here. Some good light here. Got the American flag in the way background, but again, it's almost too I don't know, I kind of like this scene here. Pretty much filling this frame here for the most part. Some good light. Yep, here we go. This is our opportunity. Man, it smells good. Now we can see things from a different perspective. Let's take a look around, take it easy. Of course, you guys know how much I love Porsches, and we have a pretty cool looking one right there. We're gonna have to compose a few different style of photos here. This one's definitely gonna be a layers one. I think we can use like this setup here is kind of like a leading line. I'm trying here, guys. I'm trying. Oh. It'd be pretty cool to get sort of like a fill the frame flat scene, flat look of it. perhaps that's enough photos of this thing. Be nice if there was light on it, but all right, let's keep going. Oh boy. There's somebody in that thing. That would have been sick. Yeah. It's pretty cool, man. So anyway, to switch the focus back to the lens for a second, this thing's light, man. I mean, like, I don't even feel that there's a lens on this camera right now. It's so compact. It fits in everything. You know, I feel that this lens will kind of challenge you as a photographer. You only have one aperture, and that means that you can't really be creative with your shots. It's harder to create motion blur. It's harder to create bokeh. So you're kind of stuck in this area where it's like, okay, this lens is something that's gonna spark my creativity and sort of make me work for a photo, versus having that extra creativity that you can just get from the lens. So in that sense, if you're trying to do that, then that would be sort of like something that would make it a little bit more difficult to use. So yeah, in that sense, this lens really will make you work for your composition and frame and whatnot, but I don't think that's a bad thing. It's just that you have to understand what you're getting into, and I always say that in all my videos, but it's the truth. So it's a really good price though. I mean, if you just need something, because so many companies are making lenses, but nobody's making essentially what we want. And we want, as street photographers, like small Pancake lenses that are good and maybe have some more controls to them. But this was definitely a really good attempt at making that at a good price. You know, Viltrox makes all their prices like really affordable. Sorry, all their lenses very affordable. So that is a big plus for this selection here. And I just like the way these flowers look, but it's never easy to get just a basic picture of flowers with the 28. Standard scene in Laguna Beach, you know. It's kind of interesting. Total blind shot, but I think I was in the right spot. Really trying to fill this frame here.
Tammy said you have her all next week. Yeah. And there's no excitement about me.
What I'm looking at is to try and have this sign kind of like lead the line to the car. I'm gonna walk down there, gonna go up those stairs, then I'm gonna go back to my car. So we can go home and talk about this lens, and I'll tell you guys the final verdict and what I think you should do if you're looking for a compact 28, because this is a very interesting lens and I think it's worth your time. I'm a man of my words, so I'm going to keep this part short like I said I was, and basically I want to say just like two things. The first thing is we kind of went over a lot of the specs. This is a very budget lens. The price reflects that. It doesn't have features, so there's no aperture ring, no focus ring, no manual focus button, autofocus button. There's nothing on it. It's literally just a small lens. Okay, I have it right here. There's nothing on this thing. Just take a look at that. It doesn't mean that it's a bad lens. Looking back at the photos when I was editing them, aside from the normal things you'd expect from a cheap lens like this, the photos were low contrast, they weren't popping with color. So I did shoot all the photos with my picture profile that I've been working on and just a few extra edits in Lightroom. And I was able to get, a file that I wanted. I got the look that I usually go for. I don't want you to get caught up sort of in the image quality. As long as you're shooting with a decent megapixel camera and you know how to edit, you'll be fine. This lens really is for somebody who's going to shoot leisurely. You're traveling to Portugal for a week and you just want to bring something really compact, something really under the radar, and this would be the lens. It's really small. It makes your camera almost look fake. And no one's really going to stop you and ask you anything. This lens is also good, I think, just for the lay photographer who's just, taking a road trip up north or whatever you're going to do, and you're just taking some photos that, you're probably not going to do anything professionally with. Or I guess the point I'm trying to make with the whole professional thing is it's a very limited lens, and you just want to be able to have the absolute best product when you're shooting professionally, and you're not going to really get that with this lens. So for the person who's taking a road trip, he's going out to a birthday party, shooting his kids, this lens is more than enough. Probably the last person I can think of that this lens would be good for would be like a new or experienced street photographer. You're tired of, first of all, not having that many options for 28 millimeters. But the options that exist, you're looking for something smaller, again, more discreet. Or let's say you are a street photographer and you've never shot 28, but you want to experiment with it. There's nothing like being able to buy a brand new lens for such a good price to experiment with a focal length and see if you actually like it. Like for me personally, if I didn't already have a 28 millimeter, the Elmerit lens that I use on my Leica, which I just adapt to my Sony, I probably would have just bought this if it wasn't sent to me anyways, because there's not that many new options that are 28 millimeters, and especially this small. Like you just can't beat this size. So that's it, guys. That's all I wanted to say. I hope you enjoyed the video, the photos. I hope you got some insight on this lens, and maybe this is exactly what you were looking for and it's your lucky day you stumbled upon my video. I definitely want you guys to come back for more. I have some more products that have been sent to me that I'm going to check out, do some street photography with. So I look forward to making those videos, and I don't want you to miss them, so hit that subscribe button down below. Of course, if you got anything out of this video, don't forget to like it. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.